Welcome to Beyond the Charts, a podcast series featuring Cira Monnig, founder of Lakeside Care Clinic. Each episode shares real stories and a fresh perspective on health and wellness, all rooted in compassionate, personalized care. At Lakeside Care Clinic, it's never just about the numbers, it's about going beyond the charts. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the LOZ App Podcast Network. We have another edition of Beyond the Charts with Cira Monnig. Cira, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Welcome back. You're becoming, kind of a fan favorite because we put about 3 of these out so far. You're getting a lot of viewers. People are really interested in what you have to say. I'm interested in what you have to say. There's just a lot of things going on right now in the world of health, particularly surrounding weight loss. So, this thing kind of exploded, the last couple, 2-3 years? Is that about right?
Yeah, probably the last 2 or 3 years.
And what we're talking about is kind of the whole semaglutide, GLP, peptide, hormone. There's all kinds of things now that are out there helping people. It used to be you had to go out there, you had to do it by yourself, you had to force yourself to, change everything, your diet, your exercise, it was all on you. And there wasn't much help. And that's changed. And your feelings have changed a lot on this. So talk about the background of how you've come around to the semaglutide, the GLP side, and the hormone side of what's going on with weight loss.
Well, first, I would say that I never really was a fan of prescribing weight loss medications. I've been a nurse practitioner for 11 years now, and probably the first 8-9 years, probably about 8 years, I never would prescribe weight loss medications. I felt like it was a Band-Aid. I felt like people needed to be focused on lifestyle measures, like lifestyle changes, looking at what they were eating, looking at their exercise. And then they came out with the GLP-1s, which is a game changer. Through my entire nursing background, I've witnessed and kind of watched all of the chronic disease health problems, which mostly, to sum it up, when you go to the root cause of the problem, is insulin resistance. And these GLP-1s actually treat insulin resistance. To me, that's the first time that something has been put out there to not just be a Band-Aid, but to actually treat the root cause of the problem.
And when you say insulin resistance, is that tied to inflammation?
My goodness, yes. Significant inflammation.
And I hear that a lot. Like, it seems to me like the medical community has come just full circle about inflammation is the root cause for almost a lot of what we have going on with us. Whether it's inflammation in your joints, whether it's inflammation in your gut, brain fog. There's all kinds of inflammation going on in the body. And these GLPs really attack that.
They really do. They're really reducing the inflammation. When insulin builds up in your system, when you say insulin resistance, it's a lot of people are like, okay, well, what's the big deal? Well, what is happening is insulin is actually building up in the bloodstream because it has to bind to glucose.
So it's actually too much insulin, you're saying?
Too much insulin.
I think people sometimes think, I don't have enough insulin. It's not.
It's too much.
Too much.
It's too much. And it can't bind to the right molecule to do its job. So when that insulin builds up, it actually creates more inflammation in the body. It also triggers the body to store fat instead of burn fat. So that's where people start gaining weight. Well, with the weight gain and the obesity, then comes the high blood pressure and the high cholesterol and then the diabetes, or diabetes. And so it's a domino effect, but ultimately starting with insulin resistance.
And I'm reading out there that they're prescribing these GLP medications for sleep apnea. Yeah. They're prescribing them for some heart problems.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of a once in a generational thing where, look, there's things that come along and they're kind of a fad and whatever. This seems to be one of those things that comes along once every of our lifetimes that really gets to the root of the problem and can help a lot of people.
They're already seeing people coming off of blood pressure medications. They're coming off of cholesterol medications, reducing the amount of diabetic medications that are warranted, some coming off of it altogether. It really is a game changer for the healthcare industry as a whole. I think it just has to be really looked at because there's a lot of bad information that follow the GLP-1s that just aren't accurate.
Right. And, you know, look, you can go on TikTok, you can go on anywhere, and you can see people giving you their opinion on what's going on. And I know that there's a lot of information out there that I'll call them backroom experts, you know. But I think, you know, knowing what you've been through, and you were you were a nurse in a heart,
Yes.
room. And what do they call that?
It was an ICU, but we recovered heart surgery.
Yeah. So you were specifically looking at heart surgery patients. So you get the vascular part of this.
Yes, very much so. Yeah. And just seeing the outcome of all the patients that ended up having to go in and have heart surgery. And the majority of them all obese, hypertension, high cholesterol, diabetics. I mean, again, it was just the end of the domino effect. The beginning is the insulin resistance. So it's really cool to kind of dive into these medications and see the changes that it is actually making in people's lives after starting them and watching them, you know, have the weight come off. Now, I will add as well, it is still so important to add the lifestyle changes in with it, because there are some things that it is a medication. There are side effects. You can lose muscle mass.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not eating enough protein, if you're not getting enough calories in with the medication, then you could lose muscle mass instead of fat, or in addition to fat. That is not the goal. And so that's why it's so important that anybody prescribing the GLP-1s for the patients, they should be talking about lifestyle. They should be talking about how many calories do you need every day. And that's what we do. We actually individualize the treatment to each person based on where they are, their weight, and tell them exactly how many calories they need to eat per day, how many fat grams, protein, and carbs that they should be getting every day, water. We're talking about exercise and how much exercise. And those things go with the medication.
But one thing that I'll just honestly, I'm on it. I mean, you got me on it about 3 months ago. I'm down, I think, 30 pounds in 3 months. One of the things that I notice is that the appetite suppression that comes along with this medication makes it so much easier for me. I was a snacker, so I probably wouldn't start eating till around noon. I'd have a lunch and I'd have a dinner like everybody else. Come around 8 o'clock at night, I'd start snacking, and I'd start snacking until I went to bed. I don't have any of those urges anymore. I don't have urges to eat sweets really anymore. The good foods taste good to me. You know, the fried foods that I'm supposed to stay away from don't taste as good to me. So I think that's part of why I think it's so revolutionary, that it's doing something scientifically in your body, but mentally it's also helping with that food noise. And that's a huge part of getting over the hump of actually trying to eat better and trying to do better.
It is a huge part of it. And I think what I love too is that it gives the person the opportunity to change their lifestyles and then see the result and how good they feel, how their joints don't hurt as much anymore. You know, their skin is clearing up because they're not eating all the processed foods. You know, they're not as fatigued. They're not as like cloudy in the, you know, with mental fog. All of those things come from just all the crap that are in our foods. And so when you take the food noise away and you don't have those cravings, it makes it so much easier to actually be able to eat healthy.
Pretty easy. Somebody comes in, they do blood work with you, they do a consultation. You make sure all the labs look fine and that there's nothing that's going to trigger anything detrimental by using the GLPs. Because there's a couple things you want to look for. Like, I know pancreas is a big one. You want to look at the levels and that kind of thing. As long as everything's good, you prescribe them a dose. They start out with a small dose. You work up. This is not something where you hit yourself with a huge dose of GLP-1s and you're going to be sick. I mean, you have done this so much. And I'll just tell you from my own personal experience, I have had no side effects. I mean, the way you kind of really softly brought me up to a level, and it's been a great experience for me. But I know that that's important to you. You want everybody to have a really successful, positive response to this stuff.
I do. Yes. And everyone reacts differently. So I like to have that close communication with them, especially when you're starting the medication, just to make sure that we're managing the titration well and you're not having any side effects.
And then, so, okay, I go on this. Let's say I want to lose 50 pounds. I lose the 50 pounds. And it's not an overnight thing, guys. I mean, this is months and months. But you get down to the weight that you want. Do I just go off them and I'm done? Or is it like, here you go, good luck? Or is there some management things we can do at that point?
There are management things that we can do. And a lot of times I'll tell, like, we will titrate down slowly. You don't ever want to come off of it abruptly. So just titrate down slowly, get to a low dose. And then I give the patients the option of they can stop taking it altogether and just maintain with lifestyle changes. If you truly are insulin resistant, sometimes it can still be very difficult. And so at that point, we can talk about microdosing and just continuing on with just a very tiny baby dose, just enough to manage that insulin resistance.
And I think people a lot of times with GLPs, hormone replacement therapy, they think that you're giving the body a boost and then it starts making its own. That's not how it works.
No.
When your body's done, it's done. And a lot of the hormone therapy stuff that you put people on, it's kind of you're on that for life, but it's a controllable dose and it's just supplementing what your body's not producing already. So having that extra kick in, I mean, look, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, they didn't have this. So you just dealt with it. You know, you dealt with a lot of the problems that now you can actually get in and help avoid, and you don't have to feel horrible, you know, as you get older, like me.
And that's the goal. That is the goal, because I think that we have been told for so long, like, oh, you're just getting older. You're going to have aches and pains and gain weight and be tired. But it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah. Well, we have other exciting things going on at Lakeside Care Clinic. Besides all the weight loss stuff, is you've added a whole new service to your repertoire. And we're going to be talking with Nikki from Aesthetic Cove. We're going to bring her on in a minute, and she's going to talk about all the things she has to glow you up, to help with your facials, to help with your lasers, your all the good stuff. I'm excited to learn about it. I know you're excited about having her.
Very excited. She is absolutely amazing and has so much experience. So she's great.
And she's actually in your location. So
Yes.
This is like a location within a location. So you guys, it's a one-stop shop. Lakeside's becoming this one-stop shop for everything to make yourself feel better, look better, all the good things. And then always, you know, Lakeside is also urgent care. So if you don't want to wait 5 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours in urgent care here at the lake, you can become a member, and you can, and you don't even have to be a member, right? For urgent care, they can just come in. Yeah. You can just call them and they can come in and get seen. And let me tell you something, if you sat in an urgent care for 7 hours and you realize that you could have just gone maybe another mile down the road and got seen within an hour, you're going to really be upset with yourself. And I send all my friends there, and I have people that call me on the weekend and say, can I get in to see it? You know, so you do make weekend appointments, you know, for your members, right? So,
I do. And even for non-members, if they call during the week when we're open and they're like, we cannot get it. I mean, like, I can't get in. I'm working. The hours are not conducive, and we'll make exceptions. We're pretty flexible with people.
All right. We're going to be right back with Nikki with Aesthetic Cove. We're going to talk about all the fun things going on with her practice, what we're doing in Lakeside to make you look better, feel better. It's exciting. It's beyond the charts. We love it.
It is.
We'll be right back. All right, everybody. Welcome back. We are on the LOZ App Podcast Network, Beyond the Charts, with Cira Monnig and special guest, Nikki Richey from Aesthetic Cove. Hello, Nikki.
Hi.
Nikki has just started in the last, 30 days?
Yes.
Yeah. So the last 30 days, she has opened up her practice inside of Lakeside Care Clinic because Cira wants to provide all the good stuff for all of her clients, right? I mean, this is a get. Like you were so excited about this when you told me about it a couple months ago.
So excited. Yes.
Yeah. And so, Nikki, you are doing hydrofacials. Now, you know, look, I'm a guy. I don't understand all this stuff. So you guys have to help me with this. But hydrofacials, that sounds like you're squirting me in the face with a hose. What is that actually?
Well, hydrofacials are a device facial that infuses, extract, and kind of shows you, gives you a glow up. I tell people that it's kind of like, it's a terrible analogy, but it's kind of like you vacuum your carpet every day, but then you go to clean it with a carpet cleaner and you're like, oh, you know.
That's the real dirt. Yeah, that was all still there.
A lot of clients do good at washing, cleansing, but they're not exfoliating. You kind of have to go deeper if you want that anti-aging property. And so that's where the hydrofacial kind of comes in and infuses these amazing products and extracts your impurities and helps really exfoliate and give you that glow up. The LED light at the end just helps anti-aging, helps your products penetrate. And so even in a non-invasive way, you can anti-age with just a device facial. You still get all the love and fluff and relaxation, but you get more out of it than just a manual.
And I hear red light a lot. Like there's a lot of red light treatment going on for inflammation and for what is what is the new theory on that? Does that just really help like reduce inflammation? And is it just what's the red light process going on with?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of different devices out there for red light therapy. So you really have to do your homework. There are some really good at-home ones that can help with inflammation. There are lights out there you can use for the body or just for the face. So I tell most clients, do your homework if you're not using it at a medical practice or a place that you've done your research. Because really, unless you use it actively and a lot, then it's not really doing much for you.
Okay. So don't go to the Amazon red light and go in and see you and get it done for real. I think that's the lesson here.
I think so. Yeah. That's a nice way to put it.
Now, I am a techie. I do love, anything technical. And when I heard Cyton laser, I got excited. Now, what gets us excited about this Cyton laser?
Well, I guess that kind of shows my age because Cyton has been around a lot of years and they have a lot of research showing that if you do several treatments a year for Cyton laser in different elements of that, and we can kind of get into that, that you will age better and younger than your friend. And there's studies out there. Anyone can look them up. I'm kind of a geek like that. And so those studies show the anti-aging property. I always say, my husband will kill me, but he does 2 treatments a year because it makes him look younger. So Cyton has different modalities. So really, you could do filtered light, broadband light, which targets sunspots, rosacea, redness. But the fun thing about it is it goes in and it stimulates your cells to act younger. So while you're there targeting your sunspots or redness, it really gives you that molecular change in your cells. That's why you look younger after the treatment. That's why it's stimulating collagen. So that's the really fun part about it. Not a lot of downtime at all with that. So that modality is very popular among clients. Also, Cyton does laser resurfacing. It does micro laser peels. I'm a super fan of peels, but micro laser, you have heat stimulation with the peel versus just topical. So that gives you way more collagen stimulation than just like a topical peel you can put on the skin. There's fun parts about this system. You can do hair reduction with it. A lot of clients come in. Fall's the perfect time. September is our laser season and go time because, we live at the lake. So summer is kind of, a little tan, a little complexion. So your safe season really is September to May. So a lot of my clients are just getting started back into the Cyton and the laser components.
Yeah, and that's great. Now you're set up, you're ready to go right inside Lakeside Care Clinic. People come in, and it's a neat collaboration with you guys because I know you did aesthetic stuff for a while with the weight loss stuff, but everyone's coming to you for either to become healthier, to look better, to feel better. And to have this service within your walls of Lakeside Care Clinic's got to be exciting.
It's so exciting. And I mean, just listening to her talk, I get so excited because I'm like, she's an expert in the field. She is an expert. And I love that so much. So yes, I am very excited.
Now, tell me a little bit about some of the other things you provide. I know skincare products a lot. You do a lot with skincare products, right?
Yeah, really, I was particular on choosing what I decided to bring on. There's some amazing lines out there, but really, I'm carrying 2 lines. Elastin Skincare, which I truly believe in, is Trihex technology. So it really helps target to boost elastin and collagen among treating sunspots, hydration, things like that. So I think really in theory, if you ask any of my clients, why are you in? What would you like to work on? They say, I want to look younger. I want to anti-age. Well, as we age, we lose volume, complexion, things like that. So you really have to have a component that you believe in that's working synergistically with the treatments that we offer. The other line is Vivant Skincare. I believe in that. It's a very trusted line. It really helps treat hormonal acne. It's more serum based, has some amazing components for anti-aging as well. And so that's why we decided to bring on those lines. So.
And are you seeing mostly women, or are there men that come in too and get treatments done? I know you said you force your husband to do it twice a year, but are men coming to you as well? Because I think, with the weight loss stuff going on and I think guys are finally understanding like, oh, I can actually work on myself a little bit. Like I don't have to tough through it. And, there's things that we can do to help us look younger, make us feel younger. And everybody's that's the goal, right? Everyone's trying to get out there and make sure they're their best self. But what's your ratio right now?
Well, I would say in the years I've been in the industry, without telling you how old I am, men are a lot more open to coming in for treatment. They feel more comfortable with a device facial. So you can really get in there and treat what's needed if they don't want the extra love and fluff component, although they'll never admit they do like it.
We like to be pampered too.
So I think over the years, it's not taboo, but I mean, men are starting to take care of themselves. And a lot of times it's the ladies clients that I built trust with, or they don't realize that I can treat that nasal vessel or treat that sunspot for their husband. And so honestly, in the last couple of years, the wives have been like, hey, you can have this treatment and it's relaxing in there. But, Nikki and Lakeside Care Clinic, they're super also medical side, but aesthetic as well. So you feel comfortable going in there without being like, I don't belong there. I'm a guy. So I think it's just educating people on what services, and that usually is through client and referral. I get a lot of referrals from the local derm's office, U.S. Dermatology, and Forefront. And so they kind of know that medical side of treating nasal vessels or rosacea or sunspots. So it kind of helps educate people so they know men are welcome too. So.
And they can be pampered as well.
Yeah.
Are we, and this is kind of just for both of you, but are we the most overhydrated species ever? And I mean, we never drank this much water when we were younger, right? I mean, what's going on with this hydration thing and everybody telling us to drink so much water? I mean, I've got to carry a 48-ounce tumbler around with me everywhere I go now because I feel like if I don't, I'm behind the group. But is that really the key to a lot of what we're seeing out there? I mean, hydration is important.
It's very important. We see it in every aspect of our body, really. Our mental capacity, it can contribute to having mental fog, energy, everything. And then, of course, skin. I mean,
yeah. And really, I tell a lot of my clients too, hydration, if your cells are hydrated, your treatments that we're targeting, things, the chromophore, I know it's a geeky word, but it targets the water in your skin. So the more hydrated you are on some of these treatments, the better results you get. So I'm like, why would you not hydrate? And it helps all aspects of your body, especially the treatments that you're paying to come in and see me for. So yeah, I mean, it is true.
So I could feasibly come in there. I could get a vitamin infusion, fully hydrate myself, come to you, get all my treatments done, one stop. I might be there all day, whatever. You have nice music in the place. Everybody is having fun. It's a good place to be. I love the atmosphere there. That's the other thing too, I think that people don't understand is when you go to Lakeside Care Clinic, the atmosphere there is so laid back. It's not like going to a doctor's office. It's not like going to a hospital room. You're coming in, it's a cool vibe. There's people that are laughing and they're helping people. And there's some serious things going on, but for the most part, the comfort level that you have going in there is amazing. And I know that comes from you, Cira. Like, I know that's something you really wanted to have.
It is. Yes. Thank you for that. But yes, it is something that I was passionate about. I wanted people to walk in and have more of a, kind of a homey feel versus a sterile feel of walking into a doctor's office. And so that is definitely what we've strived for. So.
Well, guys, look, you heard it here on Beyond the Charts. You have to go to Lakeside Care Clinic for all of your acute needs. You need to go there for if you need urgent care. You need to go there if you want to get on the weight loss journey. If you want to get on hormone replacement, there's so many things to help. You do not have to feel old anymore. You do not have to have brain fog. You don't have to walk around with a bad gut. There's a ton of things going on. And now with Nikki there, you can look beautiful in the same realm as feel beautiful, which is important, right? I mean, that's what everybody wants. And it's just so rare to have that in one location, kind of one spot. And it's right here at Lake of the Ozarks. So come by and see Cira, stop in and see Nikki, and make sure that you get the Lakeside Care Clinic and Aesthetic Cove right off of KK. This is as convenient as is in town, right? I mean, you're in the middle of town, and it's a great place. So I would encourage you guys to all go there, visit these ladies. They are going to take care of you. And we'll be back next month with another edition of Beyond the Charts, where we're going to talk about, I think we're going to talk about hormones next.
I think so.
Yeah. So that's going to be fun. So, all right, guys, until the next time, have a great time. Stay safe at the lake, and we will see you on the LOZ App Podcast Network very soon.